Hi, welcome to my video on how to create an assembly and attach sub-assemblies to it. So specifically what we're talking about is creating this. So we have our travel lane right here, we've got our shoulder right here, and then our ditch right here. So the same on both sides, so that would make this part the center line of my road. So what this really is, what this assembly is if we take a look at the project that you're going to be working on for me, is that assembly. If we take a look at our plan view and take a look at our alignment, if we were to cut this road right through here and then take a look at it in section, that assembly is defining what's happening at each of these stations as we work along our road. So it's comparing the parameters we set up in the assembly to the surface and determining, do we need to cut dirt away because there's too much, or do we need to fill dirt in because there's too little? So if you haven't done it already, go ahead and open up the drawing we were working on from the last video, P9-49 Tech Drawing Student. So far we have point data, we have a surface, we have an alignment, and then last video we worked on the design profile in our profile view. So we also have the surface profile, and we've got our design profile. So then the next step in this whole process is creating our assembly. So the way we create our assembly is come up here to the Home tab on the ribbon, and we're going to come on over here and click on Create Assembly. Once you do that, we just need to fill in a little bit of information. So let's say this is going to be Weber Parkway Assembly. So we use that for the name. Under assembly type, we're going to use undivided planar road. For our assembly style, we'll go ahead and leave it at basic. And for our code set style, let's select all codes with hatching. And then finally for the layer, go ahead and click on this little layers icon. It takes you out to where you can select an object layer. Click on that icon again. Takes you out to your list of layers. Come on down and let's find the layer C Road ASSM. Go ahead and select it, hit OK. In the object layer box, click OK again. And then in the create assembly block box, go ahead and click OK. When you do that, if you look down your command line, AutoCAD Civil 3D is saying specify assembly baseline location. This just needs to be somewhere off away from your drawing. The location really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to pick a spot up here. I'm going to click on it. And then Civil 3D zooms into it. So it's a very small line in comparison to our surface and our profile view, but that gives us the start of our assembly. So I'm going to put it kind of off to the right side of my graphics area. So now I'm going to start attaching the sub-assemblies to it. So to attach the sub-assemblies to it, I first have to turn on my tool palettes. So I'm on the Home tab on my ribbon, and I'm looking for this icon that's tool palettes. That looks like the keyboard shortcut for it is Control-3, is also another way to bring it up. So I'll go ahead and click on that. It brings up my tool palettes. And then I've got these different tabs. So I've got an assembly tab, I've got a basic tab, lanes, shoulder, and so on all the way down here so that I can create roads for different purposes. So the one we're going to start with, we're going to start on lanes, and I'm going to choose lane super elevation AOR. And when I do that, it brings up this properties box. And so I need to go through here and set all my properties that I want for this assembly. So let me show you where this information is coming from. So from the assignment that you're going to do for me, you're going to be working on 12-2. So this information says the road consists of an 8-inch gravel base, 6-inch sand on top of gravel, 1.5-inch asphalt top layer. That's all information that you're going to specify in this screenshot, as well as travel lanes are 12 foot wide, shoulder is 6 foot wide, slope of the travel lanes is 1.5%, slope of the shoulder is 4%, angle of repose for both cut and fill is 2:1, and so on all the way down here. So that first few lines of information, that's information that you specify in properties for these different sub-assemblies. I also included these screenshots for you. This first one is lane super elevation AOR, and then I circled the spots where we typically you need to pay attention. That's the information that's going to change from one assignment to the next. So we've got lane super elevation AOR, we have shoulder extend sub base, which is the next one we're going to work with. And then if you keep looking down on this assignment, you'll notice there's some screenshots in here. And these screenshots are to help you get a feel for what these different parameters are, such as width, shoulder width, daylight width, and you'll see how these match up with properties from these different tool palettes, these different sub-assemblies. So we're going to go ahead and make one up. So what we want to do is here in properties, we're going to specify that for this very first travel lane, we're going to start on the left side. So let's go ahead and change this to be left. And then width, let's go ahead and make this 14 foot for the one we're doing. Its default slope minus 2% is good. Come on down to pave 1 depth, and we're going to make that 0.125 feet. And then our pave 2 depth, make that 0.5 feet. Base depth, let's make that 2/3 of a foot. And our sub base depth, let's make it 0. And then I'll just go ahead and scroll down the rest of the way here. So you can go ahead and compare what you have to me. And once it's all set the same, then what we're going to do is move into this graphics area. And I'm just going to click anywhere on this red line. And that attaches my travel lane. So then come back over here to properties and switch it from the left side to the right side. And then click on the red line again. And now I've got my 2 travel lanes that are attached to my assembly. So now I can go ahead and hit enter. I'm done adding travel lanes. So then the next thing is to add the shoulder on here. So the shoulder, we're going to find it on the shoulder tab. It's called shoulder extend sub base. So go ahead and find it and click on it. Again, the properties box comes up so that we can work with these different parameters. So I'm going to come down here. We're going to do the right side first. My shoulder width, I want to make it 6 feet. So I'll go ahead and change that. Scroll down here a little bit. Next thing, I'm going to come on down to default shoulder slope, make that a minus 3%. My daylight slope, I'll go ahead and make that a 0. My daylight width, I'll make it a 0. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to this document again. So when I'm specifying daylight width of 0, it means that nothing from this extension line to the right is going to be visible when I build my road, because I specified a width of 0. So none of these parameters are doing anything for the way I'm setting up this shoulder. So I've got 0 for daylight slope and daylight width. Come on down here, next thing, default sub base slope, let's make it minus 3% so that it matches my default shoulder slope. Pave 1, pave 2, and base extension, they don't matter. Pave 1 depth, I'll make it match my travel lane, so that's going to be 0.125 feet. My pave 2 depth, 0.5 feet, and base depth, 2/3 of a foot, followed by sub base depth, which is a 0. So go ahead and scan through these parameters real quick, make sure they match mine. I'll go ahead and scroll to the top so you can see those as well. So after that all looks good, we're going to go into our graphics area. Over here on the right side, we get these 4 ringlets. I'm going to click on this top ringlet, and that's going to attach my shoulder at that location. So after I do that, come back over into my properties box, switch from the right side to the left side, come back to my assembly, now move over to the left side and click that same top ringlet on the left side. And now I've got my shoulders on there. I can go ahead and hit enter. So I'm done adding shoulders. So then the last thing is to add on the ditch. So you'll find ditch under the basic tab, and it's basic side slope cut ditch. So I'll go ahead and click on it. Brings up the properties for this ditch, and I can start working with this. So I'm going to start with the left side. My cut slope is going to be 0.5 to 1, so I'll go ahead and change that. My fill slope, I'll make it 1 to 1. Force slope, I'm going to leave it at a 4 to 1. The force slope width is going to be 0. So again, if I switch over to this document, scroll down a little bit, here's the properties for this basic side slope cut ditch. And I just specified force slope width of a 0. So that's saying that in my cut condition, my force slope width is going to be 0. I'm also going to specify bottom width to be 0, back slope width to be 0. So right from when we're in cut, it's going to go right from this point, and it's going to start my cut slope. And then we're also going to specify these, our fill condition and our fill slope. So that's where these parameters are coming from as well. So come back over here. We left off with bottom width, so we're going to make it a 0. Back slope, doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and leave it at a 4 to 1. Back slope width is going to be a 0. And that's why that slope does not matter, because there is no back slope width. And now just working my way down through here. Looks like I'm good for a ways. I'm going to go ahead and finish scrolling down in here. And none of the rest of these parameters matter for the way that we're building our corridor. So you can make them whatever you want, or you can just leave them the way they match mine. So go ahead and scan through this real quick, make sure yours match mine. I'll scroll back up to the top so you can see those. And so this is the left side. So we're going to scroll, we're going to zoom in to the left side up here, find that ringlet, clear at the top, and click on that ringlet, and that's going to attach our ditch there. Come back over into properties, select to the right side, zoom in on the right side, click that top ringlet, attaches our ditch up there on the top. Go ahead and hit enter because we're done building our ditch, and that is our assembly. So we can go ahead and save it. I'm done with this tool palette, so I can go ahead and close that for now. So that's our assembly. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take all this information and we're going to merge it together to finally create our road. So go ahead and save this. And then the next video, we'll pick up from here and we'll finish our corridor. So as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for working along, and good luck.